Hey guys, another little video for you tonight. I got a text earlier on tonight from my friend Tommy from the Bronx, and he said, and you can't see it because it's on my phone, not on my computer, but I'll read it to you. He says, "Are you going to make a vid about the 4 black asses who tortured that mentally challenged white kid? I made rant 1 yesterday." And Tommy is talking about this video right here. Now, as I responded to him on the phone, I was not even aware of this situation. I've been out driving a semi-truck for 2 weeks, not, glued to social media or, God forbid, the mainstream news, keeping abreast of current events, so I didn't know about this. However, I am already seeing some disturbing things, and I've seen things like this before, and I know exactly what's going on, and this is definitely, situations like this are where I shine. Okay, this is like the Karen Klein thing, because I find it so often happens, even though I draw so many accusations as being like this unstable, crazy guy or whatever, I find that it so often falls to me to be the sole voice of reason on the internet. Maybe it takes a crazy guy to speak truth to a crazy society. I don't know what it is, but does anybody recall my take on the Trayvon Martin George Zimmerman thing and what I had to say about that? Do any of you guys remember that? So when the Trayvon Martin George Zimmerman thing happened, I talked about a chapter from Howard Zinn's book, The People's History of the United States of America, about an event from the early colonial Jamestown days of the United States, before the United States was the United States, called Bacon's Rebellion. Okay? And Bacon's Rebellion was an event where a bunch of poor people had a rebellion against the wealthy elite who were, depriving them of rights and mistreating them. And same old story. We've seen this a million times throughout human history, right? But what makes this event special is this. The rebels were a motley crew comprised of poor whites, poor blacks, and poor Native Americans. And working together, they threw off their chains, and they burned down the courthouses and the state houses, and started wreaking havoc. And they were so effective that the elite got really scared. And what did they do? They cooked up a plan. And the plan was, we're going to keep oppressing the poor, but now we're going to start to introduce different tiers of oppression, different levels. So we're going to give the poor white guys a little bit more rights than everybody else. And the poor blacks, they're going to have a little bit less rights than the poor white guys are going to get. And the poor Native Americans, they're at the bottom of the heap. They're going to get less rights than the poor blacks and the poor whites. And so what they achieved by doing this is to maintain their dominance and introduce social stability and prevent further rebellion by distracting everybody's attention, so that the poor folks no longer wanted to rebel against the rich because now they're too busy infighting and there's too much resentment one against the other. Okay? Now, that's a time-honored tactic called divide and conquer, and the elite have been using it against the people in the United States pretty much ever since those Jamestown colonial days. It's never changed. They still do it, and who does it better than the mainstream media? I mean, God bless these guys. They are just pros at this. They've got it down to a science. So when the Trayvon Martin George Zimmerman thing happened, and you had the media inexplicably calling George Zimmerman, quote-unquote, white. Boy, that just stuck out. That just caught my attention right away. I was like, white? Clearly this guy is Latino. Since when do we label Latinos as white? And right away I was like, something's fishy. Like, what is going on here? What's the agenda? What's the rub? And obviously, it didn't take me long to put two and two together. The media was race baiting. They were trying to rile up the black community against the white community in the United States. They were trying to make black people hate white people. Hey, look, a white guy shot a black guy and he got away with it. And I guess they couldn't even find a case of a white guy shooting a black guy and getting away with it, so they had to take this Latino guy and paint him white in order to fit the narrative, right? Well, it's pretty clear to me what's happening here in this Chicago quote-unquote BLM kidnapping is that it's the opposite, right? They're doing the same thing, but from the other side. They found a heinous crime perpetrated by black people against a white person, and they're trying to rile up white people against black people to divide and conquer. And let's look at Tommy from the Bronx's comments here, and we can see that it is working. We've got Mediocre Generica, who is a member of my audience. This guy comments on my videos all the time, and he says, "This struck the final nail in the coffin for me. Hail Hitler!" To which I responded, "You don't mean that. You can't hold an entire race responsible for what 4 people did." But we've got more. Okay, so this guy Vinny Gare says, "Wasn't BLM supposed to protest police brutality? Wasn't that the whole shtick?" Well, who says that it's BLM that caused this kidnapping? This is 4 people, okay? And they might be shouting BLM slogans, all right? But we all know what an agent provocateur is, right? Does that need to be explained to anybody? We all know what false flags are, okay? And, this could just be 4 racist retards who happen to identify with BLM, but you can't hold all of BLM accountable for what these 4 people did, can you? Does that make sense? We got this guy, Professor Sponge, here. He says, "It's not often I advocate for cruel capital punishment, but right here, yes. I want these 4 cowards tortured until they're begging for death." Oh, that's very Christian. "But I'll settle for this being played at every BLM event. Let them be reminded of this." What kind of sense does that make? Okay, so every time Black Lives Matter has a protest against institutionalized racism in the justice system in the U.S., which does fucking exist. Just look at the prison statistics, okay? Just look at the Justice Department statistics, FBI statistics. All right, we know cops single out black people more than they do white people. Okay, we know that. Okay, we know that, and that's what BLM is a reaction to. All right. BLM is not this movement that says, "Hey, kidnap and torture whitey. Let's all go kidnap a white guy and torture him." That's not their shtick. Okay, their shtick is stop killing us, police. We don't want to be killed by police because we're black, right? That's what they're doing. That's what BLM is about. Okay. So why does BLM need to have footage of this kidnapping played at every one of their events? Okay, how is that fair? How does that make sense? The answer is it does not. By the way, I'm not snubbing Tommy for not doing a live reaction to him, because nothing in his video needs to be reacted to, because his reaction is an appropriate one. Okay, he's pissed off. He drops a bunch of F-bombs, as he is wont to do, and he talks about how these 4 people are assholes and how they should get the punishment that's coming to them. And I don't take issue with any of that. I agree with my friend Tommy from the Bronx. This is why Tommy from the Bronx is my friend, because more often than not, we see eye to eye on a lot of things. And he doesn't take it a bridge too far. Okay, Tommy doesn't say anything about, well, that's the last straw, hail Hitler, race war now, gas the kikes, 1488, rope day. He doesn't go full red pill storm fag retard over this. He has a measured response, which is punish these 4 criminals. And he does say in his video, that like he takes issue with this notion that black people cannot be racist, and like, oh, isn't this evidence right here of black people being racist? Well, yes, it is. Okay, yes, it is. But let's be very clear about something. Okay, let's interject some sanity into this situation. Who is making the claim that black people cannot be racist? Okay, who is making the claim? It's not BLM. Right? They're not the ones saying this. CNN is saying this. Okay? We've got paid shills who happen to have black skin working for CNN saying, who's to blame for this kidnapping and torture of a white guy by 4 black people? It's Donald Trump to blame, and it's white privilege that's to blame. That's why this is happening, right? Okay, so it's CNN that's saying that, all right? It's CNN that's saying that. It's the mainstream corporate media that's saying that, okay? Now, apparently, the Chicago authorities are handing down sentencing, no, I'm sorry, not sentencing, but sentencing hasn't occurred yet, but they're handing down charges on the 4 kidnappers, which among a plethora of charges includes hate crime charges. But what's got the internet up in arms is that the hate crime charges do not stem from the fact that it's 4 racist black people torturing a white guy. The hate crime charges stem from the fact that the white guy in question is mentally disabled. So the hate crime in question is a crime against abled people, or I'm sorry, it's a crime by abled people against a disabled person. It's a hate crime against someone for their status as being mentally disabled, rather than a hate crime of racism by 4 obviously racist black people against the white guy. And by the way, let me make it clear right now, I see the racism, okay? Clearly these are 4 very deeply racist black people, and clearly this is a racially motivated hate crime against a white guy because he is white, okay? So I see that, okay? But let me make this point, all right? Before all you guys go off the deep end and get your jack boots and your armbands on to start goose stepping down the street. Let me make this point very clear. We already knew that the justice system was fucked up, okay? We already knew that the courts in the United States of America hand out outrageous and unfair sentencing and charges. Okay, we knew that. We knew that already. That's not news. Okay? And we already knew that the corporate media are professional race baiters and fucking shills that are trying to turn the American people against one another. We knew that already, all right? So it's not Black Lives Matter that deserves your contempt and your outrage over this crime, okay? Much less is it the black community at large, the African American community. They are not the ones who deserve your outrage and your anger, okay? The outrage and anger should be directed against the 4 criminals who committed the crime, and to a lesser extent, it should be directed against the municipality of Chicago for handing out charges which are not appropriate to the crime, which is indeed a racially motivated hate crime, and also to the media for deliberately trying to rile up whitey, because that's what they're doing, all right? When these CNN commentators are up here saying, oh, Donald Trump is to blame for this, and white privilege is to blame, and that's why these 4 people, these 4 kidnappers did what they did. Okay, the media knows what they're doing, all right? This is not by accident, okay? They are race baiting. They are deliberately trying to piss off white people and make you into racists. That's what they're doing. That is what they are doing. And it's a racist who's telling you this. Okay, so I can see it. But now, here's what we're going to do next. And this is a little experiment that we're going to do. See, I'm going to type in Chicago. I have to type with one hand because I'm holding a microphone. Chicago kidnapping. And what we're going to do is we are going to look for reactions to this from black YouTubers. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I suspect, and we'll find out if I'm right, that there's not going to be a single black person on YouTube who defends the 4 kidnappers and says, yeah, this is justified. Fuck Whitey. Fuck evil Whitey. Let's kidnap them all. Let's do it. I don't think I'm going to find that. I suspect that I'm going to find a bunch of black people saying, wow, that's fucked up. I hope these 4 criminals get their just desserts and get what's coming to them. Okay, so here's a black guy, and he says a thought about the Chicago kidnapping thing.
January 5th, 2017. I'm listening to Sargon and some of these people talking about the BLM kidnapping, and while accurate, it isn't necessarily attached to Black Lives Matter.
Amen, brother.
And I think that should actually be really understood to be true.
Yes, it should be understood to be true. Yes, it should be understood.
That doesn't make it better.
Okay, clearly this is not support for the 4 kidnappers. So let's move on to Dat Nigga Rob 2015 Chicago kidnapping response.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Alright.
Sup, player?
So, I just saw some disturbing shit on, it wasn't really on Facebook, just on the internet. These dumb, stupid motherfuckers in Chicago and shit.
By the way, can I pause this right here and point out the fact that this guy is visibly upset over this? That looks like a tear welling up in his eye right there, unless my eyes are deceiving me.
These 4 teenagers that had kidnapped the white guy. 4 dumb niggas. Let's just to say it that way. 4 dumb, stupid motherfucking niggas. Those are some real dumb niggas. Those are niggas. Dumb niggas. Idiotic, stupid motherfucking young, stupid motherfucking niggas. You know what I'm saying? They just, kidnap some.
Well, there you go. There you go. I think we've pretty clearly got that. Okay, BLM kidnapping. My name is Josephine. Let's see what she says. Here. Maybe this black person will say, "Oh, the kidnapping was justified. That whitey had it coming for being white." Or maybe she'll even say that Donald Trump is to blame for the actions of the 4 kidnappers, and that institutionalized white privilege is what is the cause of this. Let's see what she says. Let's see what she says.
Hey guys, my name is Josephine, and yesterday an awful thing happened. 4 black people in Chicago kidnapped and tortured a white special needs kid simply because he's white, and they were under the assumption that he was a Trump supporter. The poor guy was waiting for his white privilege to help him out. Oh wait, it doesn't exist. This event...
Oh! Based and red-pilled as fuck. So there you go. Okay, here's another one. Big Boss Jedi, and he says, BLM kidnapping, no coons. Okay. Odd title. What? Yeah! What? Yeah! What? What? Damn, how long is your fucking intro, bro?
Hey guys, I'm not sure if you heard about it by now, but I guess it's national news at this point. Some case you been living on a rock or just don't know for whatever reason. Basically, a bunch of teenagers got together and kidnapped a white special needs kid, and they recorded on live. It's a lot of reasons why what they did was wrong. First of all, they did it for attention. They
Okay. Well, clearly he thinks what they did was wrong, so I don't need to see any more. Here's another black guy right here, Lamont Lane, BLM kidnapping thoughts. Let's see if he takes the side of the kidnappers.
Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's my first video, so I was making this video because, as I do every evening, I just scroll through YouTube looking at funny videos, serious videos, whatever it is, just see what's going on out there in the world. I know a lot of people like to catch stuff live. They have their own dialogue and comments about certain issues. I just like to read them. And then I love reading the comments just to see what people have to say. And today, it was just one video. And I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. And if you haven't, it's easy to go find it. I saw the tag BLM kidnapping video. So, the first thing, I'm like, Black Lives Matter kidnapping video. What's going on with that? So I decided to watch it. And what I saw, obviously like everybody saw, I saw these 4 black kids, bullying, torturing, doing whatever, however you want to describe it, to a white kid who, now it's coming out that he was a special needs kid. The first thing I want to say is that was dumb as hell what they did. What should be done?
Clearly this guy is in the not support category. In fact, he created he created a fucking a YouTube channel just to, or well, I guess he already had a YouTube channel, but he began vlogging for the first time because he was so fucking, he had to get a word in about this. He had to talk about it. Okay, let's see, let's see, we got Handy Mayhem here. Let's see what he says about the kidnapping.
What's good, people? Uncle Hotep back at it again. And I gotta talk about your favorite Talcum X, aka Sean King, aka the white black man.
I don't need no Sean King stuff.
All this stuff, we need it right now. Now they're quick to try to
Alright, he's not getting to the point, so let's see what else we can find here. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go to page 2. I'm only interested in videos by black people. I wish I could just filter the search results somehow so that I only get videos by black people. But I guess there's no way to do that. Okay, so this guy, Chris Thorne, says, are Black Lives Matter promoting violence? He doesn't say kidnapping in the title, but it's got to be about it. It's got to be.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm going to skip the intro shit because I am so disgusted with what I just saw. I never seen no shit like this in my life before. And we ain't even in 2017 yet, people. We ain't even in there good yet. And you already got dumb niggas and dumb black bitches just doing dumb shit, recording criminal activities already.
Clearly, we know what this guy's opinion is. He is not supporting the kidnappers and saying that evil white devil deserved to be tortured. So, I don't know, guys. I've watched a lot of videos here. I don't think I'm going to find the one I'm looking for. Let's keep scrolling. See what we got here. I need some black vloggers. Give me some black vloggers. White guy, I don't care what you think, because it's not pertinent to the point I'm trying to make. Okay. What do we got? You know, I guess that's all I can find. But I trust that I've made my point here. So what I want to do is I want to conclude this video by saying this. And that is to mediocre generica. If you're watching this, if you are within the sound of my voice, before you go full Stormfag and start, reading Mein Kampf and but before you go full Hail Hitler like you seem to be doing, I want you to consider how big of a disconnect there is between what black people who work for the mainstream media outlets like CNN are saying about this kidnapping and what average black people in real life who don't have some fucked up agenda and aren't getting paid by Goldman Sachs. Look at what black people on the ground are saying, okay? Look at what black people on YouTube are saying. They don't support these criminals, okay? And they also seem to be very dismayed by the fact that this is being referred to as a quote-unquote BLM kidnapping. Because a lot of these guys are probably saying, hey, I go to BLM protests. I didn't kidnap anybody. Why am I being lumped in? All right, this is what the media always does to grassroots movements. This is what they do. They did the same thing to the Tea Party. They did the same thing to Occupy Wall Street. They're going to find the most fucked up people that they can possibly connect with these movements, that they can connect the dots somehow and say this guy was associated with this movement, and they use it to discredit the people. This is what they do. And the media are professional race baiters. What they love to fucking do is turn us all against one another, okay? They want to turn the whites against the blacks against the whites, the Mexicans against the whites, the blacks against the Mexicans, the Asians against the fucking whites. This is what they do. They're race baiters, okay? Don't fall for this mediocre generica. Do not let them fucking dupe you this easily. Do not let them turn you into a hateful fucking bigot who says Hail Hitler. And you're being told this by Fakesagan, an openly avowed racist, okay? And I am a racist, but I'm not a bigot. I'm not like this supremacist, okay? Open your fucking eyes and look at this for what it really is. Okay, when you get black commentators on CNN saying, basically defending four fucking heinous criminals, they don't really believe what they're saying. They're not really defending these people. They're trying to fucking piss you off and turn you into an anti-black racist. And it's working, clearly. It's working. Smarten the fuck up. Alright, so that's all the news that's fit to print. Keep it fake.